Welcome back to Diecast Customs 101. Today we're going to start on a race truck. It's going to be kind of a NASCAR version of a semi. I've seen pictures of them on the internet when I was looking for something to build out of the spare parts and stuff that I had to kind of do another trash to treasure truck. I had this cab, and it's basically the only piece that I have from that particular truck. I do have the side panels from a newer model Kenworth that the rest of the truck was beyond repair. I saved a few parts off of it. This is actually the interior for this truck. We've actually got a stack from a model truck and some rims and tires from another model truck. And we're going to basically take this truck and completely build a frame for it, kind of like I done on the Goliath truck. And we're going to turn it into a NASCAR style race truck. To start with, what we're going to have to do is get some frame rails built and figure out how we're going to do our side plates because these don't exactly marry up to the truck the way they need to. I can kind of fix them where they will. So that's the first thing we're going to start on right now. And we're going to try and see if we can take out enough in the right place without breaking everything. To get it to go more like that. That's almost what I want. Let's see. We can see if we can file this out. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to make those work. That'll save us from having to fabricate the side panels for it. We're going to have to make a grill. And I'm going to finish disassembling the cab. Well, we got the paint dry. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the frame. I've already got part of the frame built. I have my pieces that I'm going to use for my suspension. I've got my axles fixed. I've got my grill done. The way I done this is I basically just put the front of the truck down and traced it out. And I used a piece of the thick PVC and then took a piece of plastic card and cut it out, cut the grill out the way I wanted it, and glued it down. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do this black or chrome yet. I think we're going to do the frame and the bottom parts of the truck, which will be these panels too. I think we're going to do them in black. But what we're going to do first is we're going to get the suspension, the back suspension put in, and kind of figure out about where we want to put the front, so we can start getting the truck put together. So we're going to look at putting the rear suspension along in here. So basically what I need to do is get my suspension glued in. We're going to give that just a couple of seconds to dry, a couple of minutes to dry. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to go ahead and put the interior back into the cab and get that part done. Put your lights in first. Then your windows will go back in. We detailed the dash out too. When we got that part painted, when we got the rest of the truck painted, dash goes in, and then this part snaps into it, and we got all that done. So now we got our cab put back together. So I'm gonna pop this off. This goes through like so. Now we want to give a little bit of room, because I think we're going to build some back fenders for this. So kind of got to figure out exactly this is gonna be. So right there should be good. So the marks I've already made looks like it's gonna be really good for this. So I'm gonna get the front end glued on. Okay, we'll let that set for a minute. And with this, we're also going to have to put a piece in across here. And this will keep your front end from moving back and forth this way. So we're going to go ahead and get that glued down too. So that should have our front end ready. So basically what we're going to have to do now we're going to go ahead and get our visor glued back on. And I made these pieces to cover the vents, the holes that was in the sides of the hood before I painted it, and got all that stuff ready. So Now we got our chassis done. So all we need to do now is get these pieces right here mounted where we want them, and then we'll pretty much be ready to paint and get the bottom, get the frame painted. We're gonna get some stripes on the truck, do some detailing on it, and get a number put on the door. I hadn't decided on a number yet, but like I said, this is going to be kind of like a NASCAR truck style truck. I've actually seen some of this racing on YouTube now that I looked into these trucks, and it seems to be pretty cool. But we're going to get this right here ready. And I'm going to get this glued on, and then what I'm going to do is build some supports on the underside of it. To make it stand out and stand up to where I want it to. That has actually gave me more gap than what I wanted. Okay, our truck's taking shape now. We got the fenders made and mounted. I made another plate to cover up the back, and made plates to cover up the gaps in this. So basically, we've got all this covered and fixed. Our rims and tires and wheels are ready. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the wheels off, get it painted, and we're going to get ready to do the final assembly on it. And then we'll also do the numbers on the doors and the stripes. And the NASCAR race truck's pretty much gonna be ready to go. All right, we're here to do the final assembly on this NASCAR truck. I've got all my paint down. Everything's painted. I decided to go with number 7, and I went ahead and cut the 7s out and put them on the doors. I am going to put some stripes right on the front of the hood on this truck. I use regular car pin stripes, and you can pick up the pin stripes pretty much at any auto parts place. I actually got these from O'Reilly's. They actually come with a plastic film over them that keeps them in line. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to peel this right here off. And I'm gonna get my stripes set where I want it. And then I'm just gonna get it seated in good. And then you're gonna want to take the plastic film off of it. And this is always the aggravating part, is to get the stripes to lay down and get the film off the stripes. Especially without scratching your paint. And then your plastic film comes off, and you're left with a nice consistent stripe. I'm going to get the stripe on the other side, and then we're going to finish the assembly. Okay, we got the stripes on. Now I got our grill finished. We're going to get our grill glued in, get our tires put back on, our stacks put on, and get everything glued together. Okay, we're going to let that dry a little bit. Get our front suspension put on. Get the rear done. Those will pop in just like that. And let's see. We'll go ahead and get our stacks glued on. These are some broke stacks that I found that I fixed so that I could use them on this truck. The stacks that I was originally going to put on this truck, I decided I was going to actually do for a different project truck that we're going to work on. Okay. So that's glued. That's glued. We're going to take and get our cab glued down. This will set it up where we can glue our bumper in. And I found this. This is actually an old visor off a newer model truck, but I thought it would make a cool piece for the ground effects too. So I'm actually going to take and put it under the front bumper to give it the ground effects look that I want. And that's going to give us our low front look that we're looking for. Gonna leave that right there to the glue sets, and that's pretty much gonna be our NASCAR truck. It's pretty much all put together, all finished. I may do some odds and ends detailing on it, but for the most part, I'm really pleased with the way the truck turned out. I like the orange with the chrome and black. But if you're interested in builds like this, I'd like for you to like, subscribe, hit that notification, because we're going to be dropping more videos on some more trucks that we're going to be working on. We got some Yatming trucks coming up. We got another 1/32 scale truck that we're going to be working on. It's actually going to be like a 4-wheel drive pulling truck. But like, subscribe, hit that notification, and I would just like to say thanks and God bless.